Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
I just noticed none of you other Danans have spirit cores. Why is that?
Both of my parents were part of the resistance in Calaglia. In fact, my birth was kept a secret from the Renans.
Mine too. We always lived in hiding, so I never had a spirit core embedded in me like I was supposed to.
What about you, Alphen? You were a slave in Calaglia before all this, weren't you?
To be completely honest, I'm not sure why I don't have one. All the other Danan slaves around me did. I was the only exception. They tended to keep their distance from me to avoid attracting any attention from the soldiers, because of my mask and all. What about you, Kisara? Do you still have your spirit core?
No. I was able to find a good Renan doctor who's sympathetic to our kind, and had them remove it before I left. They did such a great job, the procedure didn't even leave a scar.
One of the benefits of coexistence, huh?
I know that once the spirit vessel was shut down, there wasn't much need for me to hurry. But still, I didn't like having that mark of servitude lingering on me any longer than I had to. It may sound a little strange to hear me say this, but I'm just me now. Not a guardsman or a slave. I'm my own woman. And this is my chance to have a new beginning.
This sure is one rugged road. You'd think they'd keep this at least a little better maintained, right?
Why spend energy fixing that which is rarely used? Repairs require time and effort, which in our world means slaves, often in great numbers. For you, it may be a simple request, but that can quickly become another's difficult burden. Nobody gains anything without someone expending effort.
And you know, somehow that someone always ends up being a Danan, while the Renans are the ones who gain.
True enough. Ideally, in a perfect world, I think it's only fair that the ones who need it should be the ones to perform the work.
However, when doing so could be dangerous like it is here, there are many who would prefer that it be others who risk their lives in their stead.
So, what you're saying is that people will just put up with the inconvenience until someone else comes along to fix it for them?
Indeed. And it is those who can no longer bear that feeling that inevitably take action. Much like the Danans in our group do so now. As strange as it may be to hear such a thing from the likes of myself.
It's true that most of the Danans in Calaglia have been resigned to just accepting things as they are. Still, we can't just blame them for...
What are you making that face for? You're not worn out already, are you?
Nah, just regretting I ever said anything in the first place.
Dispose of the trash.
Resonate with the earth.
Let the marksman handle things. Glacial spear. Pierce it. Airborne beast. My spec. I never miss.
We've got fire.
I've got this. Let a marksman handle it.
I'm ready.
Ringwell. Frozen.
Hammer.
Freezing storm.
Dragon form.
Resonate with the earth.
Stalagmite.
Flaming thrust. Hurricane thrust.
Go. Radiant blast. Searing flames. Reload.
Lightning thrust.
A freezing storm.
Do it. Okay, this Kisara. Commander of Heaven.
Phoenix Cyclone.
Did it.
Yeah. Nice technique. Into the shadows.
Lumen Gate.
Make it rain.
All yours, Kisara.
Quite necessary when creating weaponry. All right.
There's nowhere to run from my arts. When he slows down, that's our chance.
Glacial Spear.
Leave the agile ones to me.
Dragon Swarm!
Piercing roar.
Elusive Deep!
Do you require a hand?
Hear me. Flame of Fury. Burning Strike. Hear my call.
Leave the ensnaring to me.
Yeah! And the pummeling to me!
Dragon! It's time! Catapult! You're mine! Will escape!
This one's mine!
Mega Ray.
Can't get out of the fluidity of your movement.
Shield.
Simply incredible.
Go for it! Prepare to crumble! Think we overdid it?
Dragon
Not by a long shot.
Dragon Swarm! On your knees!
This one's mine!
Flush! Here I come!
Tiger Blade! I'll take you all on! Ha! Flare Demolisher!
Got some interesting moves there, Dohalim. I'm glad you're on our side.
I'm simply glad to hear that I can make myself useful to you all. Huh?
What's wrong?
We seem to have come across some rather unusual objects.
What, you mean that pile of garbage?
No mere garbage, I assure you. Still, I've never seen anything shaped like it before. I'm intrigued.
Are you curious about this stuff, Rinwell?
Yeah. I think he might have found some old Danon relics. They look like the remains of a bunch of objects that disappeared after the Renans first invaded.
And yet here I am, holding them without so much as a second thought. I imagine the sight must be unsettling to you.
Not really, just that it must be nice to be a Renan who has time to indulge in stuff like that, unlike the rest of us.
Are you interested in this stuff too, Dohalim?
Charmed may be a better turn of phrase. I simply love objects that can give me a sense of what their maker was thinking, the history that went into their creation. You see, we Renans have hardly any such objects that trace back to our distant past.
I still don't understand what you two find so intriguing about it, though.
Why not? We're talking about our own culture here.
I get that, but it's not like this stuff is any use now, does it? It's just old. Real old.
Oh, but it does. Holding it in your hands like this, one can feel and engage with the distant past in a way no history book can ever accomplish.
I'll take your word for it. Well, seeing as it's Danon history, just make sure you're careful with it. All right, Dohalim?
But of course. That treasure. What a sweet-sounding ring it has.
You really think so?
Hey, I'm pretty lucky.
Visibility along this path will remain limited for some time. Take care not to get ambushed.
I'm surprised you know the terrain here so well. Lords don't strike me as having much time for wandering in the woods.
Sometimes I would take strolls along here when I wished to be alone.
You always did have a bad habit of disappearing without telling any of us guardsmen.
Let's dispose of this trash.
Damn it! Try harder! Dragon Swarm! Shockwave Slash!
It's a duel of the arts!
No further! Dragon Swarm!
Pesky airborne scoundrels!
Sounds like a job for you, truly!
Shockwave Slash!
This one's mine!
Take this!
Leave the enemy's arts to me!
I'll take you all on! Ha! Flare Demolisher!
Dragon Swarm!
Piercing Down!
Take this! Not so fast!
Do it!
Shockwave Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
See you continue on in that way.
Dragon Swarm!
Yes, my lady?
Something you wanted to say?
On your knees! You're mine! Ignite!
Look sharp!
I can feel my precision improving.
Retreat if you know what's good for you!
I'm ready! Dragon Swarm!
Negative gain!
Power of one!
Resonate with the earth!
Stalagmite! I'm not so good with airborne targets. Lightning! Downfall!
Can you find free?
What can
Take
just
this!
sit still?
Sia,
Make it
can
rain!
you take care of them?
Frozen!
Hammer!
Radiant light! Watch
Shockwave Slash! Dragon Swarm!
Fury! Burning strike!
I'm not done! Dragon Swarm!
Pierce evil!
Shockwave Slash!
Freeze laser!
It's on!
Here!
Ignite!
Here's a healing art! First aid!
Why'd you heal me?
To stop you dying?
I still... Still got a ways to go.
It's so hilly around here. I can feel my feet getting blisters.
That's mountain hiking for you. It can be pretty tough if you're not used to these sorts of...
Out of our way! I never miss! Let them handle this! On my watch!
Dragon Swarm!
Searing flame! Reload!
Shockwave Slash! I'm ready! Totally! In an instant! Impact Claw! We work well together.
Finally time to walk. The enemy wields arts too.
We'll soon see about that! This one's mine!
Catapult! Dragon Swarm!
Do it!
Well,
Frozen!
Hammer!
Radiant light! Here!
Dragon Swarm! Shockwave Slash!
Freeze Lancer!
This one's
Dragon!
mine!
Ready! Freezing
I'm ready!
storm!
Disarm! Commander of Heaven! Phoenix Cyclone!
This should come in handy when crafting weapons. I'll do my best!
Dragon Swarm!
One more!
Shockwave Flash! Elusive Beam! Dragon Swarm! Can you take it? Not today!
By the power of
Dragon
water!
Swarm!
Let the marksman handle this!
I'm ready! Kisara! Commander of Heaven! Phoenix Cyclone! Did it!
Take it!
Yeah!
Go!
Nice technique!
You're finished! Soaring Light Spear!
Negative gate!
How about this?
Devastation!
An astral art?
That's my cue.
Shut him down! I'm not
You're
done!
feistier than you look.
Can't change the future without getting your hands dirty.
Dramatic,
Dragon
but
Swarm!
fair.
That's what I like to hear.
Get lost!
Dragon Swarm!
Healing circle!
Armor won't save you!
Grateful.
This one's all mine!
Your helping me has
It's
become
like
a
trying to
pattern.
keep up with a
For the
wall.
good of all of us.
Is it now?
Strike!
This one's mine!
Dragon Swarm!
Prepare to be sealed, O fleet of foot. Actually, has come one come on.
Less talking, more doing!
Shockwave Flash!
No further.
Dragon Swarm!
Here's the evil! Here goes!
Do it!
Kisara! Commander of Heaven! Phoenix Cyclone! Did it!
Yeah! Nice technique!
You're finished!
I'm gone.
Soaring Light Spear!
This
Devastation!
one's mine!
By the power
Arc
of
Seal!
water!
Tiger Blade!
Take this!
Radiant blood! Here! I can handle it! I'm out!
Denied!
Mega
Dragon
Ray!
Swarm!
Searing flame! Reload! Warm escape flame!
Shattering Tiger Blade!
Attack by the power of water! Confiscating!
Now you see what I can do.
Annihilation!
All yours, Kisara.
Glacial spear!
Dragon Swarm!
Shockwave Flash!
Do it! Shield!
Go for it!
Prepare to crumble! I feel sprightlier than before.
Looks like some solid equipment. More Danin ruins here too, I see.
What were people even thinking back then? Trying to build anything around here.
Maybe they just had that much time and energy on their hands.
What's this thing?
I'll do my best!
Take this!
I never miss!
Blue
I'm
escape!
ready!
Dragon
Appreciate
form!
the help! Water, hear my call! This one's mine!
Shockwave strike!
Glacial Spear, pierce evil! This one's mine! Freeze Lancer!
It's over!
Tiger Blade!
Elusive
Do it!
deity!
Ridwell!
Frozen?
Hammer! Take it! And again! Mega Ray! Aw,
Elusive deity!
Here, let me
Devastation!
help!
Flame of Fury!
Burning Wind!
Soaring light
Tiger
spear!
Blade! Anything normal is all mine! Do it! This one's
Rising
lost!
Fountain!
I'll stop your movement! And I'll stop your life! Glacial Spear!
Elusive deity!
Evil!
Soaring light spear!
On guard! Freeze Lancer!
So I still had room to grow.
I sure have built up a sweat with this hike.
Rest assured, we have reached the top. It's all downhill from here, quite literally.
So Mahag Sar's just up ahead then?
Indeed. If you look, across this mountain is the Lord's Keep. What? Retreat if you know what's good for you!
Soaring light spear!
I never miss! Going in!
Begin! Does it hurt?
There! Tiger Blade!
Stay calm. I shall provide assistance.
Rising Falcon!
Thank you.
Tiger
Dragon
Blade!
form! Shockwave
Freezing
strike!
Storm!
I'm ready! Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Did it!
Yeah! Nice technique!
Shockwave Blaster!
Not on my watch! Do it!
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Sword and shield!
A classic combination!
Hey, what do you say we fight that?
I have a bad feeling about this.
Dragon Swarm!
You want me? Come get
I
me!
can carve through armor!
On guard!
Begin!
Here!
Dragon Swarm!
Hear me! Flame of Fury! Glacial Spear! Pierce evil!
No escape!
Come over!
Soaring light spear!
Let me help! Look sharp! Annihilation!
I owe you one.
Ready for the fray!
Take this!
Annihilation!
Dragon Swarm!
Hear me! Flame of
Shockwave
Fury!
Flash!
Burning
Deity! Shockwave Flash! A new melody! Dragon
Aw,
Swarm!
too shy to come over? Here!
Shockwave Flash!
I'll take you all on! Ha! Flare Demolisher!
Dragon Swarm!
Searing Flame! Piercing in the
Soaring
sky!
light spear! Catapult!
Radiant Pierce!
Tempting!
Here it goes! Going in!
I'm not done!
Almost on guard! Take this! Annihilation! I can feel my precision improving.
An opponent like this should be easy. Can't get out of this! Shockwave Catapult!
Going in!
Dragon Swarm! Catapult!
Smash you! Tiger Blade!
Shockwave Splash! You picked the wrong fight!
Can you
take it? It's too fast!
Stand back.
Shockwave
I'll trip it up.
Make it rain!
All yours, Kisara.
We
We did it!
Magnificently done.
Dragon Form!
Glacial Spear! Here's evil!
Tornado Drive!
This one's
Ring
mine!
Lancer!
Do it! Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone! That firepower of yours is really something.
I could say the same.
Out of my way!
Dragon Form!
Denied!
Don't mind if I do! Art expert coming through!
Not so fast!
Dragon
You
Form!
before!
Here's evil!
Take this!
Elucidate!
I never miss!
I shall ensure you survive this!
Chocolate Slash!
There!
You're mine!
Graviton
It's
Spear!
over!
One more!
Take this!
Lightning!
Dragon Form!
Tiger Blade!
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Did it!
Yeah! Nice technique!
Dragon Form!
Glacial Spear!
Chocolate Blade! Dragon Form! I still got a ways to go.
And thus
Dohalim's fighting style is... what's the word I'm looking for? Subdued? No...
Do you mean elegant, perhaps?
Yeah, that's the word. For better or worse, you can definitely tell he's cut from posh rending cloth.
And he's not just skilled with the staff either. He can also use astral arts, including healing ones. I can see how he made it to the position of a lord.
You flatter me, but my fighting techniques merely come from a style that aims to conserve energy by minimizing body movement.
Is that why you wait until the last second before you dodge attacks? To avoid unnecessary movements?
No, I do that to sharpen my senses. I find that doing so is an effective means of drawing out my innermost strength.
Oh yeah, I've noticed you look stronger and strike out with your rod more after you dodge attacks. Guess that's why.
Still, it's a risk. Don't you ever worry you'll dodge at the wrong moment?
Then, it'll be just as well.
Huh?
It's nothing. Let us continue.
do my best!
Dragon Swarm!
Right here! I got you!
I never miss! Let the marksman handle this!
Shockwave Flash!
Freezing storm!
Dragon
Tiger
Swarm!
Blade!
I'm ready, Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Did it!
Glacial
Yeah!
spear!
Nice
Pierce
technique!
Everlasting
Freeze
Negative
blade!
Gate!
This one's mine!
Those are impressive skills. They took a lifetime to master.
This
Well,
one's
I will keep
mine!
training.
You're going pretty hard
Make
into
it
that!
break!
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone! I've been doing really great lately.
Right, here goes!
I never
You
miss!
wanna play?
Primed and
Come
ready!
at me!
Not on my watch! By the power of water!
This one's make it rain!
Frozen!
Hammer!
Here I go! Got you! Going in! Lightning!
Catapult!
Glacial spear! Pierce evil!
I'm ready! Here I come! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Did it!
Yeah! Nice technique!
Dragon Swarm!
Annihilation!
Shockwave Flash!
You made short work of that one.
I'm sorry.
Not
Having
today!
trouble keeping up?
Oh, I'm right behind.
Make it rain!
Spicier than you look.
Can't change the future without getting your hands dirty.
Dramatic, but fair. No complaints from me.
I'll do my best!
Dragon Swarm!
I never miss. Let the marksman handle this.
This one's mine!
Can you take it?
Shockwave Flash!
Igneous discharge!
Here I go. Into the shadows.
Come and face me!
Mega ray.
No escape!
Annihilate.
Do it! Do it!
All yours, Kisara.
Ah! We did it!
Magnificently
Dragon
done.
Swarm! Shockwave Flash!
Radiant look here.
Resonate with the earth.
You're mine! You're finished!
This one's mine! Water snake wait!
Soaring Light Spear!
This one's
Shockwave
mine!
I'm ready! Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Great!
Out of our way.
Dragon Swarm!
How about this? Art expert coming through.
On your knees! Here I come! Shockwave Flash!
Do it.
Law! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade! I'll take you all off!
And again.
How about this?
Dragon Swarm!
Glacial spear. Here's evil.
This one's
Shockwave
mine!
Flash!
One more!
Can you take it?
Tiger Blade!
Dragon Swarm!
Can you take it?
Catapult! It's over!
Going in! Who's next?
Shockwave Flash!
Spicier than you look.
Can't change the future without getting your hands dirty.
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone! I feel sprightlier than before.
Guess I misread the landing. Still thinking about how to act around Dohalim?
That obvious, huh? Except I don't think I'll be changing much after all. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to stay his servant. However, I am going to treat him like a fellow comrade, the same way I would with you or anyone else. For as long as I can remember, I've spent my life protecting others. But isn't that what friends do too? Support and protect one another in times of need?
Which in the end pretty much means doing as you've always done, right? If that's what you're most comfortable with, I'm certainly not going to give you any grief over it.
Actually, I've been thinking about how I ought to act around you all as well.
Oh?
When I set out on this journey, it was to rid Eldaman and Sia of its enemies, and search for wisdom in the outside world. Wisdom that I could potentially put to use on my return. I'm grateful to you all for letting me tag along. But it got me thinking, what am I actually contributing by being here?
What are you talking about? You know how to hold a weapon, don't you? That's help enough.
Is it though? Sometimes I wish there was more I could be doing to pull my...
Oops, sorry about that. Jeez, I'm famished.
Now that you mention it, what do you guys normally do for food and meals when you're out and about on your travels?
What do you mean, what do we do? We find stuff to eat and eat it. So long as it's meat, I'm not fussy.
Eating what you like can be good for morale in the short term, but you need to think about your diet if you want to stay healthy.
Does that mean eating vegetables too?
Isn't that obvious?
It does, which I guess hasn't been happening up till now.
Yeah, to be honest, we could be eating better than we do.
Understood. In that case, I'll just have to make sure you're all staying healthy and eating right myself. Fortunately, I happen to know a thing or two about cooking as well.
You hear that, Law? Sounds like you'll be eating your greens after all.
What is it?
No, sorry, it's just... I was just wondering if you had any thoughts on all this.
It will do her good to have a project.
No, not Kisara. I meant you. Was there anything you wanted to add?
Me? Certainly you're not looking to me for culinary skill, I hope.
Typical Renan, leaving everything to someone else.
Rinwell, I don't think...
That said, should you need my skills on the battlefield, please rest assured I have no intention of shirking my responsibilities, regardless of who we may face.
I'm sure no one doubts that. Listen, guys, if we're traveling together, we should probably at least try to make an effort to get to know one another, don't you think?
I wouldn't get your expectations too high in that regard. Believe it or not, sometimes I'm not sure I even know myself all that well.
Something wrong? You look like you're deep in thought.
Not exactly. I was merely thinking about you two and your sense of etiquette.
Oh?
Etiquette?
Indeed. To be quite frank, I find your lack of manners to be nigh intolerable.
That's not being frank, that's being and forget it. Do we really need to talk about this now?
Yes. I find such impropriety on your parts to be deeply unsettling. It concerns me greatly.
What do you want us to do? We were slaves. We never got to learn how to be proper like you.
Yeah, what he said. Maybe you missed how we were just focused on surviving.
Perhaps, but Kisara here demonstrates that it's quite possible for a Denon to learn proper manners.
That's because I was given the opportunity to learn. Moreover, my duties as a guardsman required it. Not every realm is like Menancia, as you well know.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair to hold us to some other city standards.
Exactly. You've got to remember what it's been like for us living under the Rena elsewhere.
I will concede that you do indeed make a valid point. It would appear, for all my espousing the virtues of equality between our peoples, I was still looking down on the two of you.
You don't need to beat yourself up. I wasn't that offended by what you said, man.
Nevertheless, I shall mind my words from here on out. Having said that, I do believe you two would still benefit from learning the basics of proper society. I would be more than happy to teach you both when we camp out, if you like.
Yeah, no, I'll pass. Acting all prim and proper isn't really my style.
If you say so. How about you, Law? Would you like to learn? Although I suppose my first task is to reform your attitude toward the idea of good etiquette.
You're not gonna let this go, are you?
Hey, let's stop for a minute.
What's up? You already tired?
My armor's pretty heavy. I think I need a little rest.
I second that. All of this walking is starting to take its toll on me as well.
What? You don't look it.
We can't spare the time. There's places we need to be. Mahag Sar's capital, Niez, is our destination right now.
But if one of us collapses, it will only serve to slow us down. And in your case, Alphen is the only one who could carry you. Best to rest while you have the opportunity.
Enough already! I need a break, so we're taking one.
I don't need you fretting over me.
Fretting? Hey, it's not like I'm... Been looking for you. For me? Why?
He's tough.
Who are you? You said you were looking for me. Why?
Beautiful, precious life.
What the...
That is all I desire.
Then why are we fighting? Who even are you?
In a bind?
By the power of water!
You're finished!
On guard!
Dragon Swarm!
Round and round!
Take
Hear my
this!
call!
Shockwave Slash!
Go into the glacier! This one's mine!
Who the hell are you? Bastard!
This guy's not normal!
His speed is unbelievable.
You mean he even surpasses a lord?
Dragon
Power
Swarm!
of water! Tiger Blade!
Shine! Radiant light!
Shockwave Slash!
Entertain
harder!
me.
Dragon
Shine!
Swarm!
Radiant light!
Here's the healing art!
On your
Far
knees.
enough! First aid! This
I'm not
one's
done.
mine! Take it! One more! It's Tiger Blade! Here's the healing art!
Burn it!
Show me your
Aw,
strength.
too shy to come over.
Dragon
Here,
Swarm!
let me help!
Tempest!
Piercing roar! Annihilation!
Shockwave Slash!
Annihilation! Perfect move!
Shockwave Slash!
Much obliged.
I'm only getting
Speaking of
started.
do you know Renan?
Is that all that you've got? Very well. Then die. A wretch like you? Till next time.
Shion, wake up, please!
Alphen?
Shion!
Thanks, but you're kinda crushing me.
Sorry.
It's okay. And so am I. It's not as bad as it looks.
Not bad. That's... Shion, we thought
I'm
you were...
fine. Really.
What the hell were you thinking?
Well, you were trying to protect me too, you know.
Yeah, but I have the sword. It's different.
It's not different. Besides, Never mind. It's nothing. Anyway, thank you.
But I didn't... Look, I'm just glad that you're...
Alphen?
Sorry.
That guy said he'd be back. I think maybe we should get moving before he returns, right?
Rinwell has a good point. We need to go. Shion, are you sure you're okay?
Shion, are you sure you're okay?
Yeah, I already applied some healing arts to it. It didn't even leave a scar.
But his sword went nearly straight through you.
I'm all right. Unless I've turned into some kind of ghost and I'm haunting you all right now.
No, I know you're not. It's just...
Look, I appreciate you looking out for me, but I'm fine, really.
There was also that strange light that appeared when Shion was stabbed. It seemed to make the enemy retreat when he saw it. Alphen, do you have any idea what it might have been?
A light? I don't know. I was kind of preoccupied with other things at the time.
Now that I think of it, between that light and the blazing sword, just what sort of person are you, Alphen? Can you use Danon astral arts like Rinwell, perhaps?
He wouldn't know, Dohalim. He doesn't have any memories from his past, remember? Besides, we should really be getting out of here.
I suppose you're right. Forgive me. We've almost reached Nias, the capital of Mahag Sar. With any luck, we'll find a place there for Shion to rest. Hey.
How are you holding up after that last fight? You're not too hurt, are you?
I'm fine, really. See for yourself.
If things get too tough out there, go ahead and fall back. I can take a beating if I need to.
I'm not here just to stand around and have everyone protect me.
I get that, but there's nothing wrong with admitting you have weaknesses too.
Do I look like I'm just trying to put on a brave face to you?
I can't feel pain. But you still can, can't you?
Look, I appreciate you're trying to look out for me, but even you go down in fights from time to time. Please, stop trying to babysit me. It's getting old.
It's not that. I just...
I shall ensure you survive this.
Take this! Dragon Swarm!
Radiant light!
You're finished!
Bloody freaks! Why can't they just sit still?
Sion, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done!
I'll take you all on! Ha! Flare Demolisher!
Sighted! It's over!
Dragon Swarm!
Leave the chargers to me! Make it rain!
I'm all done!
Dragon Swarm! Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone! That firepower of yours is really something.
I could say the same. What's that big tower over there?
Judging by the stench, I'd say the animals at the... ranch are all grown now.
There are still so many creatures we don't know about.
Have you been writing stuff down about what we fight?
Yep. It's actually pretty fun to observe them from afar.
Dohalim, your spare bracers were getting dirty, so I polished them up along with the rest of your equipment.
Why, thank you, Kisara. I greatly appreciate that.
Maybe it's just my imagination, but you sure seem to fuss over Dohalim a whole lot, Kisara.
It is a little strange. Almost like you're still in his service.
Really? That's certainly not my intention. Besides, he's not the only one I'm like that with. Hey, Law? I saw your clothes were starting to get holes in them, so I stitched them back up for you.
Oh, wow! Thanks, Kisara.
Point taken. Do you just like looking after people?
I wouldn't go so far as to say I like it, but I get anxious if I don't. I'd always like to help if I can. It comes naturally to me. Back in the day, Miguel and I used to look after the younger kids a lot, so that's probably where it comes from. He taught me everything I know, and I mean everything. How to cook with wild plants, how to sew clothes so they'll last. Without him, we never would have been able to survive.
However, you're not a lord anymore, Dohalim. You need to get used to the idea that people aren't just going to wait on you hand and foot.
Yes, you're absolutely right. I'm ashamed to admit that I felt no qualms about her doing all that for me. As both a Renan and especially as a lord, one becomes too accustomed to those beneath you tending to your every need, both Renans and Danans alike.
Sure, that's how all you Renans are probably raised. But just to be clear, we're not your servants, Dohalim. Got that?
Absolutely. Moments such as this provide me with ample opportunity to confront my unease. It is difficult to tend with my own motivations.
What do you mean?
The truth of the matter is that my espousal of coexistence in Menancia hardly came from an idealistic place. That instinctive unease I feel deep within serves as a reminder for what it is that all of us here fight for.
Don't be so hard on yourself. No one's going to abandon you if you aren't always perfect.
Looking at her now, I think she's more like his mom than his servant.
This looks perfect. Guaranteed to hit the spot.
Kisara, let's talk for a bit.
Sorry for rambling on so much about my past earlier.
Don't sweat it. It was fun hearing you reminisce about the good old days.
Come on, you don't have to pretend with me. I know I can tend to go on sometimes, when it comes to my brother.
You said it, not me. Anyway, I don't think it's something for you to be embarrassed about.
Hey, Alphen. When you were a kid, was there ever a time when you had to bury someone younger than you?
Well, it's hard to say. I'm guessing that you have, though.
Yeah. During the previous crown contest, with the Lord before Dohalim. Life back then was truly hell. I think that's why I tried to ignore what Miguel was telling me for so long. Because I was afraid of going back to such a dark time. Of losing hope. I wanted to believe in our paradise so much that I doubted the one person I should have trusted most. I don't blame blame Dohalim for that. I simply didn't want to face facts. And I ended up trying to project my ideals onto everyone else.
It's strange. Whenever you and Dohalim talk about Menancia, it's always like it's some big failure. We're talking about fixing 300 years worth of damage here. Isn't it a bit optimistic to think it was all going to be resolved after only 5?
You might be right. Maybe it was a mistake when Menancia... No. When I decided to stop seeing the darkness in our society. I have to admit the truth. To myself, first of all. I'll take watch tonight. It's okay. Before we go, do you guys have everything?
Not this way, I guess. Not this way, I guess. Not this way, I guess.